Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Joy and this is Yoga with Joy. So this is a very gentle, very specific video, and it's about healing as much as possible Diastasis Recti, which is a separation of the abdominal muscles that sit at the front of your body, just here. And they're called the rectus abdominis muscles, your six pack. So what can happen, which you've probably experienced, and it's often, as I say later, it's usually in child pregnancy, so growing a bubba. It can happen for other reasons, but that's the main one. And so there's a split of these muscles here, which happens naturally as you grow your baby. Now, if you have a really big baby, you have twins, or just multiple pregnancies, whatever, for whatever reason, or you're really tiny, that's going to happen. The split doesn't come back together because usually it knits back together after a few weeks after pregnancy. So what can happen is what happened to me is you end up with a rupture. Well, that's what happened where I tore the connective tissue and I ended up with a rupture, which means it'll never actually go back together properly. But this is a way of either gently knitting this area back together, so it will be a maximum about 1 centimetre separation, because it might be quite a bit more now, or it might be like me where it never completely goes back together, but you're building up this strength and totally supporting the rest of your body. You're supporting your lower back, you're keeping your posture upright. It's super, super important. I always go on and on about it, but it's really important to build up from the base, right from the deep inner muscles of your core. So right to your transverse abdominis, right inside, and then building up slowly. And that's where we're starting today. So you can use this video for as long as you need to. You might stay on this video for a really long time, and then you might progress to a stronger video. But this is, you can start at the beginning, but do just really opt out. If you're quite soon after birth, for example, postnatally, please just opt out of anything that doesn't feel okay, or surgery or anything like that. So I hope you find this really useful, and I'd love to hear your feedback. See you in a moment on the mat. Tatsavitu vareniam bargo devasya dimahi diyo yona prachodayat. Let's start lying on our side, and we're going to find the transverse abdominis, which is the inner layer of muscle, so the deep inner layer of muscle, which we're going to be focusing on and gently building up from the inside out. This is what we do when we're healing a separation of the six-pack muscles here. So lie down either with your head on your hand, or you can lie on a rod, blanket or pillow like I'm doing. We're going to place the hand on what gets referred to as the hip, which is actually part of your pelvis. And so we're going to press in your fingers in here and just take some deep breaths. And you'll probably be able to see and feel your abdominal muscles just gently rising and falling and resisting against your fingers. They might feel kind of fairly weak here, but feeling the strength around in your deep inner core muscles, which will slowly build up over time. And when you feel like you've had it kind of connected a bit with those muscles, with the breath, you can turn over onto your back. You can keep the cushion there if you wish. In semi-supine with your knees up and your feet flat on the floor. And then placing your hands on your belly, so your lower abdomen. And again, breathing into this area, right into the belly here. And just feeling the area rising and falling. And with the breath, there'll be gentle toning and relaxation of that area as well. I'm just going to lessen my blanket so to make it unroll it a little bit so that it's not so high. And you might notice your fingers are moving apart as you breathe in and out. So breathing into the belly. So avoiding breathing into the chest or the rib cage at this point. So this is just gentle toning in itself. And then from here, we'll place down the hands and just gently drop out the left knee. So you're keeping your pelvis stable, so the pelvis is in line with the mat, and you're going to exhale out your left knee. Inhale it back. Exhale out. You'll notice your pelvic floor. It hopefully will be natural to just gently lift your pelvic floor. And then inhale back. So the pelvic floor and your deep inner core muscles will be engaging. Exhale out. Inhale back up. So whether it's really recent this has happened, this separation, or whether it's been a few years, just starting very slowly and very gently like this is really important. And you can build up exercises with time. Exhale out, inhale back up. And then the other side. So we're going to exhale out the right and inhale back up. That's great. So I'm going to move here just so that you can see how I'm doing it. The rest of the body is very still. And you're going to exhale out the right knee and inhale back up. It's very subtle, but it's toning those inner transverse abdominis muscles. That's lovely. And then coming back to stillness. And so from this point, we're going to just slide out the legs, so placing the hands by the side. I always like to come up and fiddle and feel what's going on. If you can just place hands by the side. And then exhale out, being careful, making sure it's not too much for you. Inhale back. Exhale, straight leg. And then inhale back. Making sure that you're engaging those core muscles rather than your back. Rather than kind of, if your back's getting really swayed from this, you just need to maybe go down less. If you notice your back wants to tilt into an arch like that, just make sure you just do a little bit less. Keeping yourself nice and strong. One more. Exhale. Inhale up. And then exhale the other side. Inhale up. So you don't have to go down the full way if you're noticing your back is coming off the mat too much. The lordosis in your lumbar spine, if that's arching too much. Exhale. One more. Exhale down. Inhale up. That's wonderful. Okay. And then maybe we'll just drop from side to side just to ease out the hips, the lower back. Taking it super slow, nice and gentle. That's great. And back up to center. That's wonderful. Okay, so now we're tilting the pelvis and just flattening the lower back onto the mat. So we're keeping nice and strong here, nice and toned as we lift up your right leg into a knee lift. Exhale up. Inhale down, and you might just gently tap the toe onto the mat. So this is like we're working one side of your central core muscles, the one side of where the separation is, but we're not bulging out the front. So if you've got quite a big gap, or even a small gap, if you've just recently had a baby, what we don't want to see is any sit-ups or anything like that, anything crunches that's going to bulge out the gap and those muscles at the front. We're being just really careful. We're exhaling up, inhaling down. That's great. It's quite strong on your legs. And again, exhaling, navel back to spine so that your lower back is pressing into the mat. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale, inhale, exhale up, inhale down, that's great. Just take it in your own time, and really looking after your lower back. That's great. And then placing a foot down. Okay, so we just have a little rock out from side to side again. And then we'll come into just a few pelvic tilts. And that'll be enough for today. So this is actually quite a lot of work for the inner muscles. And then gently exhaling up, pressing the lumbar spine into the mat, tilting up the pelvis. Inhale down. Exhale. And try and come back to neutral, where you actually don't arch the back like this, because we don't really need to do that today. We're just keeping ourselves nice and flat. We're keeping everything quite controlled. Exhale. Inhale down. Exhale, navel back to spine, pressing lumbar spine on the mat. Inhale. Just rocking out the pelvis. And you can be lifting up the pelvic diaphragm as well. So just gently lifting up those wonderful muscles at the base of your pelvis, the layers of muscle. For the area around the vaginal canal and all the way, all those muscles around the anus, perineum. And then gently releasing and relaxing back down. That's lovely. And so it feels okay to do so. You can draw one knee into the chest, then the other, and have a little rock from side to side. That's lovely. And then we'll place your legs down. If this is uncomfortable, you could place a bolster underneath your knees, or you could just have your knees up, because it might be uncomfortable in your lower back. Especially if you, with the separated ab muscles, your lower back's often taking the strain. So just be looking after yourself. And then placing one hand on your lower belly and one hand on your heart. I'm just going to rest here for a moment. Breathing into this special and very important area of your body, your core. And you might wish to give yourself a little bit of a stroke, a little bit of a rub on your belly, just sending some love from your heart to your abdomen, abdominals that have been overstretched for whatever reason. And know that you're on the road to recovery, even if that means just building up the muscles around to protect. You will get there. Might be an ongoing journey throughout your life, but it's so worth looking after these wonderful muscles that keep us upright and able to feel confident in our bodies, trust our bodies. And a few big breaths into the whole torso now, so breathing into your lower abs, your ribs and your chest. One more. And then completely rest for just a moment. And slowly moving on to your side, unless you wish to rest for longer. Make your way up to seated. Important that we never jackknife up, so just make sure you roll onto your side and coming back up. With your eyes closed, moment of stillness. Giving yourself and your body a bit of love and respect. And a bit of gratitude for taking this time to just continue the healing process with your core. Hands together at the heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. It's really wonderful to share this practice, which is very dear to my heart. It has helped me very much over the last 23 years. So, yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please do. It's just down below. And also I've got a membership program, which means you pay a small monthly fee and you can join in any of the perks that are happening at the moment. And that's next to the subscribe button. It says join. And yeah, just hope you really enjoy my channel. Look out for any things going on in my website. You can sign up to the mailing list, all of those things. There might be some courses, things happening. So lots of love and see you again soon.
purvasvaha tatsavitu vareniyam bargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo na prachodayam.